Both the SEC and Ripple have just recently submitted motions to deny the request for a summary judgment that was made by the opposing party. In the meantime, Ripple's chief engineer announced that he would be retiring from Ripple SEC case. The court battle is getting closer to a decision. In the most recent step in the ongoing dispute, both Ripple and the SEC have each answered the other's applications for summary judgment. However, on Friday of last week, both Ripple and the Securities and Exchange Commission submitted separate motions to dismiss the other party's request for summary judgment. Earlier applications for summary judgment had been submitted by both Ripple and the Securities and Exchange Commission. If accepted, a judge would then make a decision on the case, avoiding the necessity for a trial. The Securities and Exchange Commission claimed that there is undisputed evidence that Ripple provided unregistered securities without authorization, and that the motion should be denied based on this premise. Subsequently, a federal judge filed a complaint against the corporation. In December 2020, Ripple stated that the SEC lacked the legal authority to require that it register XRP as a securities key, docs made public last week prior to the Ripple disclosed in the disclosure of particular documents that it had made up to 6 requests to register XRP as a security. Ripple disclosed in the publication of specific documents that it had made up to 6 requests to register XRP as a security. The Securities and Exchange Commission stated these observations in connection to the claimed Hyman documents that they supposedly make public. SEC remarks concerning a lecture given by William Hyman, a former director of the Corporate Finance Division. In his lecture, Hyman stated that although he had originally thought of Ethereum as a security, his later comprehension of the blockchain-based transactions had led him to conclude that current offers and sales of Ether are not securities transactions. In order to prove that the SEC is aware of Hyman's assertion that Ethereum is not a security, in his lecture, Hyman stated that, although he had originally thought of applying a similar line of reasoning, Ripple formally requested that these notes be made public. Ripple believes that this will support their argument that XRP is not a security. Regardless of how prestigious Ripple may be, a legal expert contends that the viewpoint of a former SEC official is probably unimportant. He contends that the Supreme Court, which has consistently upheld the Hawaii Test standard, still has the final say. Ripple believes that this will support their argument that XRP is not a security. According to this criterion, the essence of a security is an investment of money in a shared enterprise with the reasonable expectation that profit will be generated from the labor of others. SEC Chair Gary Gensler believes that most cryptocurrencies would qualify as securities if this criteria were applied, with the major exception of Bitcoin, which he claimed would be considered a commodity. Nevertheless, another piece of research found in Exhibit 167 of Ripple's request to deny the SEC states that people who purchased XRP for investment purposes did not expect profits to come from Ripple, but rather from market movements or other sources. A longtime employee is leaving even though it has not yet been approved by the XRP ledger has resigned. But holders of XRP have been given permission by a federal judge in the United States to join a lawsuit brought by the Securities and Exchange Commission against Ripple Labs. According to the judge token, owners can now submit their application to intervene in the widely publicized case. After reading the documents submitted by the parties, the court has decided to approve the prospective intervener's request for permission to make a petition to intervene. The judge for the Southern District of New York, Annalisa Torres, indicated that the XRP holders are required to submit their application to intervene. According to the ruling, Torres initially denied the XRP holders' request to intervene. XRP holders then submitted a motion to join the SEC case against Ripple Labs and its executives as third-party defendants. Ripple Labs is currently being pursued by the new commissioner. The company has been sued by the regulator for selling XRP, which the regulator considers to be a security. On behalf of 6,000 XRP holders, Deaton Law Firm presented a request to intervene. The law firm stated that the SEC inferred that holders of XRP felt an unregistered security by saying that all XRP tokens are securities. The fact that it was directly affecting them made the action crucial. Deaton further underlined the enormous losses that these investors had incurred as a consequence of the SEC action. The asset was being delisted from various American exchanges, which caused a wild fall in price and the loss of more than 3/4 of its worth at the time. In addition, Deaton emphasized that these investors had suffered large losses as a result of the SEC action. A week after the XRP holders' motion to intervene was received, Deaton estimated that the company had lost approximately $15 billion. The legal team representing Chris Larson and Brad Garlinghouse, the chairman and CEO of Ripple, respectively filed a motion in support of the motion. According to the complaint, the SEC was uncertain as to whether it was making an allegation that XRP was a security or whether it was simply pursuing Ripple Lab sales of XRP based on the circumstances of those sales. The defendants agree that interveners should be allowed to proceed with their motion to clarify this point. Ripple said that given this ambiguity and the possible presidential impact of this lawsuit on non-parties, XRP has been on a roller coaster ride since the beginning of this year, hitting new highs and plummeting to surprising lows. However, despite this volatility, major investors have been steadily acquiring more XRP tokens since February. On-chain data indicates Ali Martinez, a famous crypto chartist, first drew public notice to this bullish trend in a recent tweet. Ali noted an examination of Sentiment's XRP charts lends credence to the aforementioned statement. Notably, data reveals that these affluent addresses have increased their aggregate value after it dipped to a one-year low in late February. The combined balance of these whale addresses had dropped to a low of 3.6 billion XRP tokens on February 17. These whales pert, eventually leading to the 3.6 billion XRP balance. Once their balance had recovered, they created another accumulation trend. The combined balance on these addresses has grown to its current value of 4.7 billion XRP, thanks to this accumulation strategy, which was maintained during market volatility and rallies at this time. The last time their collective holdings saw this value was in February 2020, when XRP was still changing hands between 0.6 and 0.9. These whales pert, eventually leading to the 3.6 billion XRP balance. Once the accumulation especially saw a marked uptick in late March amid bullish speculation surrounding the Ripple SEC lawsuit, this supported XRP independent surge in March. This accumulating pattern has remained amid the current increased interest in Bitcoin and other crypto assets among institutional investors such as BlackRock, WisdomTree, and Invesco. Along with these wealthy shareholders, addresses with less XRP have accumulated throughout the month. Sentiment data reveals that address is holding 10,000 to 1 million XRP have amassed 750 million XRP ICP since mid-January. Meanwhile, hasn't changed much since June 23, when it fell below 0.50. Since then, the asset has primarily fluctuated between 0.46 and 0.49. There's been no success in regaining the 0.50 territory. Should the idea of permanently freezing Ripple's escrow account be upheld, the key question of the day is whether or not the proposal to permanently freeze Ripple's escrow account should be upheld. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you'll always be the first to know about any new XRP-related developments.